Hey guys, what's up? SKC Sebby here, coming at you with the Z deck profile. Guys, I wanted to say thank you for giving us 40 likes on that video. You know, I only asked for 10, and you guys really showed out by giving us 40, so I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. And I also wanted to say thank you for all the recent subscribers. We're at 300 subs now, and I believe when I recorded that Z deck profile, we were around like 240, 250, so shout outs to you guys, man. We all really appreciate it, and we're so excited to drop more content for you guys. So with that being said, let's get into the list. So this is Z. If you don't know, when attacking, -4 Dawn, you KO up to one of your opponent's character cards, 3 costs or less. Then this leader gains 1k power. It's a strong leader effect in the late game, but it's very it's very punishing. If you use this wrong, you will lose that game. You -4 Dawn, and that is a lot. That is a lot to minus, and sometimes you have to do it again on the other turn. So you're losing Dawn to swing with, so it does make it a little bit dangerous to hit your kill shots in this deck, but it's definitely very strong. Now, let's get into the list. So the theory behind this list is we play the 7-drop King here when we play our 10-drop Kuzan. So we're trying to stall to get to our 10-drop Kuzan and then drop our 7 drops to clear everything and win the game. It also helps us use our leader effect because Kuzan is -5 to everything. We can KO anything with our leader, so it does become very good. So 3 7-drop King, play 4 X-Drake. This is for combo. It's the best 2K that there is. There is 3 Sadi. Play up to 1 Jailer Beast from your hand. Very strong. We are opting to play this card when we have our Jailer Beast, but if we don't, 2K combo. Very strong. Next, we play 4 Domino. This is the best Impel Down blocker that there is. I mean, it's a 2-drop blocker that's searchable off the 1-drop here. We play 3 of this 1-drop. We don't play enough Impel Down in this list to justify playing 4. Although you can make an argument to play 4, this card misses a lot. We're not playing a lot of Impel Down. So next we have 4 of the blocker Jailer Beast. This is the combo with the Sadi. It's the best one to play. The other one that's out is a double attacker, which is very strong against multicolor leaders. But in this list, we need it for a blocker just to stall. Also, just putting 2 bodies out on board, it allows you to go aggressive when you need to. So against certain matchups, we are swinging with this, as you saw in the replay. Here we have 3 of the 5-drop Queen. This card is very strong. It is a draw 2 trash one. It's basically a Lure of Darkness if you played Yu-Gi-Oh! It's also a blocker. So very good, very good. 5 cost 6k blocker that draws cards. Strong, very strong. But I think if we're going to play Impel Down, we might replace this card with something else that is 5-drop with the same stats, but a little bit better for our game plan for going a little more aggressive. Here we have 4 Jack. This is to ramp. This is to get us to our 10-drop if we need to go first when we're playing against those matchups. Being able to trash 1 card from hand. We trash our no counter cards when we don't see that these are efficient to play, or if they're not good in the matchup, we can KO or we can drop them out of our hand to ramp us a Dawn. Here we have 4 Kuzan. This card just replaces itself. It's Upstart Goblin, but it also can attack and can minus. Very strong card. Your opponent usually will deal with this though, so it's just used for the draw, but draw is a draw. Here we have Sakazuki. On play, you trash 1 card from your hand, KO up to one of your opponent's characters, 5 or less. It's just better than 6-drop King. It KOs 5 or less. Yes, it does need to pitch a card, whereas the other one minuses, but those minus Dawn effects do conflict with Kuzan, and you're going to have some questions when we get over here, but I'll explain those in a second. Here we have 2 Sengoku. It's just to fill up for the 2k counter. It's probably replaceable. It was just kind of here just to be here. We have 4 of the 2k counter Garp. This is the best 2k counter that we can play outside of X-Drake. With Kuzan, it does have a relevant effect, but we're usually just using it as 2k. But because it is relevant to our strategy, we are maxing out on it. Next, we have 3 Kuzan. It was the main theory of the deck, just turbo out Kuzan, slap your kings down, win the game. Bit of a tough game plan though. You know, getting to 10 Dawn and being able to drop this are completely different scenarios. We can always get to 10 Dawn. We can't always drop this on 10 though. The theory of the deck is a little flawed, but it's definitely fun and when you actually get to play it. Here we have 3 of the Blast Breath. This is the counter. You minus a Dawn, you get 4k. It's one of the best counters we could play in this deck, being a multicolor leader, but it does conflict with Kuzan because we are minusing 1 Dawn. It kind of just defeats the purpose of our ramp. If we go first, it's impossible to play Kuzan on 10, you know, when we're supposed to have 10 Dawn. And the same thing, if we go second, it kind of takes away from our 10 Dawn turn, which going second is usually when you're going to be playing this card, and usually how you're going to play this deck. Here we have Impact Wave. It's very good in the early game, and it's 4k power, so it is good in the late game. It's just something to protect us when we play our kings, when we play our Sakazukis. Also, these 4k counters help us keep a good hand size by comboing out of swings for less. So that's the theory here. But I wanted to get into the other list. This is the updated list, I would say. This is the list that I'm going to be testing. So this is the new list. This is the more Impel Down forward list. As you can see, we'll go over what's the same. We still play 4 X-Drake, 4 Sadi, 4 Domino. We're playing 3 of the Searcher. We still don't play enough Impel Down, in my opinion, to play this F4. We could play it F4, but the only cards that I want to flex out of this list are the Impel Down cards. So if we're taking Impel Down away to put a card that searches an Impel Down, and it's not like it searches it from the deck, we're looking at the top 5, I'm not comfortable with doing that. Here is some of the new changes. We have 3 Magellan. This is what's replacing Queen. We have another card that's also kind of replacing Queen, but it's more, you know, you'll see. So this is Magellan. On play, you minus a Dawn, your opponent minuses a Dawn. Pretty strong. It helps set your opponent back, especially when you're playing against black. It also delays their Kuzan. So that's the theory here. It delays their Kuzan. It helps take away from, if you're playing against Kaido, their ramp. It also helps take away from red and green, helping just take away Dawn, screw up their turns. These decks like to go second. So, well, outside of red. Like, Kinemon likes to go second, so we can mess up their turns by playing this card. Also, if they deal with it, they're losing 2 Dawn, which is even better. So it usually sticks. It's like a permanent body. That's why we're testing it. Here we have the 4 of the Jailer Beast blocker. Still best target for Sadi. We are playing another target for Sadi. It's just kind of filled the space. This could be a different Impel Down card, but I mean, it's good against multicolor leaders. That's why it's here. And we can play it off Sadi. So if we draw multiple Sadi, multiple of these, it is pretty good on its own. Here we're playing 9 Kaido, or 3 of the 9-drop Kaido, not 9 Kaido. It's to replace Kuzan. We can't play Kuzan because we're playing a lot of minus Dawn effects. So this is the next best thing. We can always usually play this if we see one of our minuses versus seeing Kuzan with one of our minuses. We can play this card. It kills a 6 or less, and it's rush, so it can help kind of control the board. It can help get rid of problems. It can help just end the game. So that's why it's here. Here we have King. King is going to replace the other cards, or the 7-drop King. It's cheaper. It KOs only 1 card, yes, but because we're not playing Kuzan, we're not really playing a lot of minuses in general. We're not going to get the value out of the 7-drop like we would in the last list, so that's why we're playing this card. Still playing 3 Sakazuki. It's one of the best removal in our deck. Yeah, we have to trash a card. We still play a good amount of no combo, so that's not a problem. And there's a lot of cards that we don't mind pitching either way, so it's pretty good. Here we have Tsuru. This is to help us get our minuses. I don't want to play the Son Goku anymore because this is a little bit better for this list. It helps make our King turn into a Sakazuki. It also helps our Sakazuki turn into a 9-drop Kaido, being able to kill these higher cost cards. So that's why it's here. It's also 2k counter. Here we have 4-drop Barcelona. This is the replacer for the 4-drop Kuzan. So as you can see, this is a blocker. It does what Queen does, and this is the same cost as Queen with the same stats. So we kind of just swapped Queen's stats around. This is a 4-drop 6k blocker, so definitely a lot better, and it can't be KO'd by card effects. Sure, it doesn't draw you cards, but this will save you in those late game scenarios where Queen is a little more fragile. Here, still playing 4 Garp, the best black combo, I would think. It's just 2k. It does have a relevant effect in certain matchups, and it could help us deal with early pressure. Here, we're playing Blast Breath, same as the last time. It's helping us keep a good hand size. We don't really care about minusing 1 Dawn, so it's there. Here we have the 3 Impact Wave from the last list. It's still good. This is also good as, like, if they go first, they make you go second. You could just pass with this in your hand, and sometimes your opponent will misplay. It's strong. It's also just strong in the late game when your opponent is deciding to go wide. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like it a lot. And yeah, guys, that's the list. Let me know which list you liked better. Let me know what you guys would change down in the comments. Guys, don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. We appreciate all of you, and we're so happy to be making content for you guys. And yeah, have a good day.